Hello! In this video we're going to talk about the new realities of trade. But if there are new realities, there must be old realities too, right? A product built in one country, shipped to another country and consumed there, that's how a lot of people view trade. But that's a very simplistic picture and rarely corresponds to reality. Today, companies need to move more than just the final product, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to learn about global value chain and the movement of goods that go into production, services and servicification, the movement of data, the movement of people, and the movement of capital. All these 5 elements must be moved non-stop, and this creates a continuous flow. This flow must be made as easy as possible in order to avoid unnecessary costs and help companies to be competitive. If we want to help companies trade, we need to work with all these 5 flows at the same time. At the National Board of Trade, we call this flow facilitation. So let's start with the first element, global value chains. Today, most goods and many services use numerous inputs. These inputs are goods and services that are produced somewhere else, even in other countries, and moved to the final assembly point. These inputs themselves consist of other goods and services produced in a third place, and so on and so on. Take, for example, the tires on a car that are produced in country A and shipped to the car manufacturer in country B. The rubber on the tire are from country C, sent to country D for processing before going to country A, where the tires are manufactured. This creates a continuous flow of goods and services that travel around the world to create the product that we end up buying. It also creates a chain of companies where one company produces one thing, ships it to another, where it's inserted in another product, shipped to a third place, inserted into yet another product, and so on and so on. It is estimated that about 80% of world trade take place within these global value chains. The growth of global value chains are driven by several factors: the development of internet and information technologies, lowering of trade barriers, and the innovation of containers. Taken together, these 3 elements have lower cost and improved communications and transportation, making the spreading out of production more efficient. Another thing with global value chain is that if you want to help your company export, you have to be mindful of your own barriers for imports. If a company wants to export products, they have to import products to build these products. And barriers to importation will create unnecessary costs when it comes to exports. This is why it's essential to facilitate both imports and exports. When most people think about trade, they think about trade in goods, but we also trade in services. Services constitute anything from legal and engineering services to transportation, financial services, telecommunications, and so on. Trade in services constitutes half of world trade, according to trade and value-added statistics. There are 2 reasons why services are fundamental to trade, production, and using the goods that we bought. First of all, they are enablers of trade, production, and running companies. They are the oil in the global value chain machinery. Simply because if you spread out production, you need to rely on transportation, communication, and financial solutions to make this work. The second reason is that services are tasks in the production. Some services are used in specific parts of the production, while other services are used in every stage of the production. Take our car. We have design, R&D service, engineering services that we use before we start producing the car. Other services like IT services and communication, we need to use at every stage of the production. Manufacturing companies rely more and more on services. This is a phenomenon called servicification. They buy more and more services as inputs to the production. They produce more and more services themselves, and they sell more and more services, either as a package alongside your product or as a part of the product they sell. According to our research, companies need 40 to 50 different types of services to produce and sell their products. They also sell about 10 to 15 different types of services alongside the product. Some services are named indispensable services, meaning that the product won't even function properly without these services. If we take our car example, a car consists of a lot of software, IT services. Without these, the car won't even start. So without services, there's no trade, and a lot of products won't even function properly. We live in a digital world, and trade and production relies more and more on data, digital solutions, and the internet. It's estimated that half of world trade and services is enabled by the internet and digital solutions, meaning they wouldn't even happen without internet and digital solutions. The other half of trade and services would happen, but is made more efficient with the help of internet and digital solutions. To be digital means moving data, moving information. Today, a massive amount of information, data, is moved continuously from people to people, from company to company, from country to country. This flow of data grows rapidly, both in variety and size. Trade and production relies on digital solution and data flows. Close your eyes a minute and think about a world without internet, without digital solution. How would you communicate with your customers and your suppliers? How would you pay for the product? How would you deliver them? Quite difficult, isn't it? There are several reasons why companies rely on data and data flows. The first reason is about customer relation and business transactions. These include digital solutions in sold products that require data flows for the product to function. Take our car, for example. It consists of a lot of software, IT services that transmits information and tell us when it's time to go to the repair shop. Another reason is the production of goods. Every step of the production is digital and use digital technologies. From R&D and design in the beginning, from actual manufacturing where we have sensor and robotics, from supply chain management to keep track of all the inputs that goes into the production. A third reason why companies need to move data is about running the company and controlling and coordinating production and sales. So trade and production is impossible without digital solutions and data flows. There are several reasons why companies need to move people in and out of a country. They might need to bring people in to access skill they don't have, or access a foreign market, since it's a good idea to bring someone in from that market to help you access the market. The second reason is sending people out to negotiate contracts, to sell your product, to install them and deliver them, or to send someone if you want to make an investment and build a factory or set up an office in another country. The third reason is movement of people within your organization. For example, sending a manager to an office abroad to help them grow, or send an employer to another office for educational reasons. Moving people both in and out of your home market is essential to make trade happen. There are several reasons why companies need to move capital. It can be about setting up facilities abroad, or building business relationships, or even getting around trade barriers. The movement of capital can take many different forms, including investments to build a factory, to set up a representative office, a shop, a repair shop, or a distribution facility. The auto dealer, where a customer looks at a car to buy, can be a result of an investment made by the car manufacturer to get closer to the customer on that market. But investments are impossible without the movement of goods, services, data, and people. These are the 5 elements that are essential for modern trade. Trade and production relies on continuous flow of goods, services, data, people, and capital. And these flows must be as frictionless as possible in order for trade to be effective. As we have seen, a car is not built in one place and shipped to another place to be consumed. Instead, a lot of countries have been involved and a lot of borders have been crossed. A barrier, even a small one, can have a large impact on the final price of the product and the functionality of the product. This is why we need to focus on flow facilitation. We need to work on removing barriers for goods, services, data, people, and capital. This is the new realities of trade. If you want to help your company stay competitive, you have to work with all these 5 elements at the same time. Thank you for watching.